can tell about their name, their profession, who invited them, and where do they locate right now. So I think Hare Krishna. Yeah. Hare Krishna, you can go ahead. I am muting you.
Yeah. Yeah, myself Neela Harikrishna. Bharat invited me to this book club actually. So I'm working as a senior testimonial in Verizon. Today only I get to know this about the book club. Initially I got an invite from LinkedIn, one of the members. Afterwards they shared the details, my contact details. They asked, I shared them. I'm basically belongs to Telangana. My hometown is nearby Hyderabad, Kallurkurti. So I'm currently residing in Hyderabad. Yeah.
చాలా మంచిది. మా తమ్ముడు కూడా ఉంటాడు హైదరాబాద్ లో, జాబ్ చేస్తాడు. And I am from Vizag. Most of my schooling is from Vizag. So nice to meet you here, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for the introduction. Great. We'll go to the next introduction. Anybody else whom we have missed out for introduction? People can raise their hand.
Yeah, we have
Kamal, na?
Kamal, yeah, Kamal.
Sameer.
And Dinesh, I seen you. Also Nitin as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Sameer also. Yeah, Sameer also can introduce again. Sameer actually joined in our Telugu book club. So he joined for the first time here. Yeah.
Dinesh, you can unmute.
Yeah, is it audible?
Yeah, you're loud and clear.
Yeah, so my name is Dinesh. Basically I'm a cost accountant, practicing cost accountant. I'm pursuing chartered accountancy also. So I'm staying in Hyderabad right now. My family also.
Very nice.
One of my friend Nitin suggested me that program.
Superb, Dinesh. చాలా మంచిది మీ ఇక్కడ వచ్చారు. We also have now CA in our group. So happy. Completely logical and analytical. Everything comes with numbers. Very nice. చాలా మంచిది. Thank you so much, Dinesh, for introducing. We have Sameer also. Sameer, you can also unmute.
Hello.
Yes, Sameer, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So beg your pardon that I could not able to turn on my video because I believe that the quality is not that much good. So I would like to go with the speaker itself. So beg your pardon for that. So my name is Sameer. So I'm basically from Odisha, and I'm working as an IoT developer at Prolim Software Solutions, which is a kind of Indian startup, and it's most probably into PLM. So I was in Bangalore, and because of before most probably 2 to 3 days before of lockdown, I came to Odisha. So now I'm in Odisha. So yeah, I'm pretty much excited I'm looking forward to be a part of this club. And basically Bharat and Sasi invited me for this group, and it's fortunate for me to be a part of it. I'm looking forward for it. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Superb, Sameer. So one good thing again, let me tell you. So I'm also from Odisha, and Supra, Bharat's wife, she also from Odisha. So Bharat is from Rajahmundry. He's a Teluguite, and Supra is a Odia. I am a Odia properly, but settled in Visakhapatnam, so I speak both the languages. So
and Kiran, actually Sameer is also from Berhampur.
Oh, Sameer bhai, बहुत ଭଲ. ଆମର ଆସ୍କା.
ଆଚ୍ଛା, ଆମର ଭଞ୍ଜନଗର.
ଆରେ ଭଞ୍ଜନଗରରେ ମୋର ଜନ୍ମଦିନ, ମୁଁ ଜନ୍ମ ହେଇଥିଲି ଭଞ୍ଜନଗରରେ.
Oh, great.
Even Kiran bro, even here Sameer is from Vizag also. Me and Vizag, Sameer is from 4 years in the Vizag only.
Oh, then Sameer is like my long lost brother. कुंभ के मेले में कहीं गुम हो गए थे, finally मिल गए.
So I was like a muted person in Telugu movie. I would rather prefer looking for a subtitle in Telugu movie.
Nice.
But I could understand. I can understand Telugu, but not 100%. But I can see movies like that and with subtitle.
Super, Sameer. वो कथा हमें आउटरे ऑफलाइन कथा बा, ठीक है?
ठीक है, बहुत बढ़िया.
Thank you so much, Sameer. Great.
Thank you.
रूपा दीदी मैंने हाथ उठाया. रूपा दीदी ये टॉपिक बोलेंगे या फिर इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे?
We have couple more new people. I see Kiran,
Praveen
Mithun,
Kumar.
and
Huh?
yeah.
Yeah, Mithun is there, Nitin is there, Praveen Kumar is my uncle. Yeah,
So
Mama.
we can
Oh,
have an
nice.
introduction.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Praveen Kumar.
చెప్పండి అంకల్.
Okay, I settled in Vizag.
అంకల్ మీ వాయిస్ కొంచెం క్లియర్ గా కట్ అయింది.
Odisha.
Bharat, I think he will lose network, I guess.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think we can take other candidates. Meanwhile, he can
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
again. Yeah. Guys, anyone who we did not introduce?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nitin is there.
Good evening, friends. I mean, I could not turn on the video due to the bad quality of the network. Yeah, I'm
No
qualified
issues.
chartered accountant, practicing in Hyderabad. So I'm from Telangana. Yeah, this is my introduction.
వెరీ నైస్ నితిన్. చాలా మంచిది మీకు కూడా పరిచయం.
Yeah, నాకు చాలా మంచిది మీరు పరిచయం అయ్యారుగా.
అన్ని నంబర్స్, అనలిటికల్ బ్రెయిన్ ఆర్ కమింగ్. సిఏ, చార్టర్డ్ అకౌంటెంట్, కాస్ట్ అకౌంటెంట్, ఆల్ అనలిటికల్ లాజికల్ బ్రెయిన్. వెరీ నైస్.
ఐఐటి బ్రెయిన్స్ కూడా వచ్చాయిగా.
అన్ని వచ్చేస్తాయి. ఓకే, చెప్తాను. గుడ్ గుడ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ నితిన్ ఫర్ ఇంట్రొడక్షన్.
Thank you.
Did we miss anyone else, guys? Anyone missed for the
I
introduction?
believe, that's all for now because we see yeah, everyone
No,
has
no,
introduced.
yeah.
Yeah, we can start off, Kiran.
Okay, cool. So I was thinking to start off so that I'll give a theme for the book club. I was super excited to see all of you. So let me start with my topic. Is that okay, Bharat?
Sure,
Yes,
sure.
yes, sure, Kiran.
Okay. So guys, my topic is pretty interesting. How many of you are aware of this company called Garmin? I think last book club I covered, there's a company called Garmin. Garmin is a company which creates navigation devices. If you've ever seen, aeroplanes or ships or all those kind of typical instruments where navigation equipments are required, Garmin is a lead manufacturer in that. In fact, people who are aware of it, this brand, Garmin recently also launched about sports equipment, all this wristband watches, all those things. So in 2007, something amazing happened with the company, and the company has a mission statement called "We will be the global leader in every market we serve, and our products will be sought after for their compelling design, superior quality, and best value." So the mindset of Garmin as a company was completely focused on product improvement and product quality and all improving the product. And they had a cause to solve some society's problem, which comes in navigation area. Okay? What happened after couple of years, so many years, in 2007, something happened which we would not even imagine, because while in 2007, 2008, a phone was introduced, smartphone was introduced, and all the smartphones started having navigation devices. The moment smartphone had navigation devices, the Garmin navigation manufacturers had a major hit. Their revenue came to almost 1/3, and that is what most of you are aware of. That is what happened with Nokia, which completely got wiped out. But Garmin's manufacturing industry almost wiped out for almost one third of their industry. So why did that happen? So Garmin had a just cause. They had a company mission and vision which was completely product focused, and they got blindfolded when it comes to the mission about the product, and that is where they could not change very quickly. So after in 2007, when the Garmin have been the best global leader for dash mounted GPS and all those navigation things, after the company struggled with a lot of a smartphone came into the picture, they had a major hit, and that is when they realized that you need to change your goals, or you need to change your paths in order to meet the just cause, in order to meet the mission of your company. And that is how you, if you relate in your real life, guys. So this example, it is really relevant for all of us, because most of us, we don't think about the end outcome. So imagine almost 3-4 years back, when I was in my college, I was an aerospace engineer, and I was supposed to go for higher studies, and I decided what to do. Rather I should sit for placements, or rather I should go for higher studies. But then I realized my just cause, my mission in my life was to do something pretty big. I was not sure exactly what I have to do. I have to do something which is very impactful, and I have to have a very good, better life in my personal life, so that I can give all the luxuries what my parents need. So my ultimate goal was to give that kind of output. The moment I focused on the output, the momentarily I switched my branch to aerospace to IT. And only reason it is not that I chose to switch, it happened because at that time I was struggling with my finances, and I could not get a degree. I could not fund my higher studies. And that is how I had to be flexible enough to change my industry, so that ultimately I can achieve the higher goals, whatever I set in my life. Similarly, we all must be having some path or vehicle we must be following. But only request to all of you is that, as Supra and Bharat already are covering a lot of making dream wheel of life, and mission statement, try to think, sit in your thinking chair and think for half an hour and 1 hour, reflect about your life, and see what kind of output you want to create, what kind of life you want to create. It's not what you want in terms of money and time. It's about what kind of life do you want to create impact in society. How do you want to create impact? What kind of happiness you get when you do some work? And that is when you do those kind of analysis for yourself, then doing a retrace back, and even if you choose to change your career, it will be quite easy, and you would not have a crisis just like Garmin as a huge company faced. And when a company face huge crisis, the losses are more. But as an individual, our loss is most of our time, because we will go to a path, we will do a lot of things, ultimately we realize that is not we wanted, and we'll waste a lot of time. So just to summarize everything, guys, set up your mission statement, and your mission statement should be the output which you want to live. Paint your life, basically. That is your mission statement. And based on that, choose your path and dominate that industry, whichever you are in. So thank you so much, Bharat and Supra, for giving me the opportunity to speak for the first. I was super excited seeing everyone, so that even I couldn't resist myself. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kiran, for the wonderful topic. Actually, we all had, various questions on whether to go for, higher studies or continue on the same path. But then again, we all need some, inputs from people around us or from some books wherein we can take a clear-cut decision. So examples like, the company that you have mentioned, right? The Garmin company and all. So the examples like this will actually, give us a clear indication of what we need to, go ahead in our life. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. Who will be the next speaker? I see a couple of hands being raised. Is it Sasi or Shayad?
Huh.
Yeah. Kiran, can you take over? Actually,
Voice or something is the issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are audible. Who is next? Samir or
Shahid,
Shashi?
I believe Shahid has raised his hand. Yeah, Shahid, you can go. We'll spotlight your video.
First of all, good evening to everyone. In this video, session, I'd like to tell you something about Rich Dad and Poor Dad. As might be, I think you people know what is the meaning of Rich Dad and Poor Dad. That is a book, and which has been written by one of the person called Robert Kiyosaki. And in that book, he has explained totally why the title of book is something called Rich Dad and Poor Dad, because he mean to tell that he has having two kinds of dads. One person is rich and another person is poor. In this book, he used to tell like this: I have two dads, but it doesn't mean that he has a blood relationship with two dads. It means that he considered his another dad, Rich Dad, as his friend's father. In introduction part, he used to tell all those things, how his rich dad tell him to work on his studies, not for earning money, but for making money will make you wait a second. So I would like to clearly explain you that poor people, as we all are poor people, poor mentality people think that we should earn money to lead our life. We should earn money to fulfill our needs and wants. But what the rich people will do, they leave their money to work for them. The money will work for them, not they work for money. So that's the meaning he want to explain in that book. I used to, I have read first chapter. In that he told, the Robert told everything from his childhood. When he was at the age of 9, the year was 1956. He got an idea. He got in a thought that in his mind that he want to become rich. And how to become rich? He was just 9 years old. At that time, he got such kind of thought, and he went in front of his poor dad, who is not yet poor. These both dads are normal. They are in normal position. They have not become rich or poor yet, but they have explained. One person explained in a clear manner that you take education for the sake of job, you will get secure job. And he gives lots of example of his uncle that he is working in military. After retiring from military, he will get some kind of retirement benefits as many things. So he explained it. He explained in that manner. So after that, he went with another father, like rich dad. He explained him clearly that money should not be a slave for us. Like money should be like a slave for us. Not we should not work for money. We should work for money should work for us. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I think I don't have any experience to share my reading books and explaining the story. To be frank, I have not yet read anything, any book, but I have read for the first time this book. So I feel definitely I can be better in the next videos. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shahid. That was wonderfully covered. Guys, this book that was mentioned by Shahid, Rich Dad Poor Dad, it is one of the top bestsellers in personal finance category. So I would suggest everybody to get a hold of this book and go through it, because it brings so many wonderful topics, which each of us should actually know. Many topics like assets and liabilities and various other things. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Next, okay, we have one surprise guest today, guys. So we have an young leader today with us. His name is Parikshit. He's very passionate about helping and empowering people, and along with that, he's also running his own book club in Kolkata. And empowering people all around India. So he's also got 3 years of experience. He is currently working with a top automobile company, and very excited to have Parikshit here. Parikshit, yeah, the stage is set for you.
Welcome to the book club. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bharat and Supra, for this wonderful welcome. And I feel so privileged to share with you all today. And you told very exactly right. That this association, this book reading club, and this PIM that Mr. Vijay has created, it is such fantastic. So many people are learning from this. And I was listening to the last speaker, Shahid. He was covering so well from the book Rich Dad and Poor Dad. It's just amazing to see. So many people are intentional about their growth, right? So today I have a very important and powerful topic for all of you. And I'm sure this topic will develop the leader within you. So make good notes for it. So today I will discuss about the most sought after skill set, that is public speaking, right? Because you will see, we all want to become leaders in any domain you take, whether you are talking about business or talking about jobs. Even if you want to become a good actor or a good chef, everywhere you need to have a good public speaking skill, right? Public speaking simply means you are able to express your ideas to other people, to lots of people, right? So this is a very important asset of a leader, and it's very important that we should learn and develop this skill set, right? So now let's first understand some fundamentals of public speaking. And before starting that, let me first clear a myth that surrounds public speaking. Some people think, that public speaking is talent, right? Some people think it's skill set. Some people also think it's a combination of both. So let me first clear the myth. Public speaking is just like any other skill set. So if you put enough time and effort, you can develop that, right? So in public speaking, both your mindset and skill set is important. So what do I mean by mindset and skill set? Let's take a very simple example, right? If you want to jump in a swimming pool, what is your mindset? Are you jumping just because you want to get wet, or are you jumping that because you want to become a champion swimmer? That is the mindset that I am talking about, that you should carry when you are talking in front of people, talking in front of public, right? And the skill set is that you should know how to swim, correct? So these both things are very important if you want to master the art of public speaking, right? So if you observe the word speaking properly, and if you split the word speak king, right? The second part is king. So whenever you are talking in front of people, feel like a king and a queen. You should speak with authority and respect. That is the mindset that you should be carrying when you are doing public speaking, right? So let me first define who is a public speaker. Many people think when you are talking in front of thousands of people, then only you are called as public speaker. That's not correct. So public speaking simply means, right, whenever you separate yourself from the crowd, you are a public speaker. Whenever you separate yourself from the crowd, you are a public speaker, right? That is the definition. And in public speaking, there is a very powerful quote. I want you all to write this down. It's a mind-blowing quote. You should write it down immediately. It will help you to grow. So the quote goes like this: if the audience is sleeping, someone has to wake up the speaker. Let me repeat. It might sound a little bit confusing at first. If the audience is sleeping, someone has to wake up the speaker, right? So that's the power of public speaking, right? So now let's discuss a very common fear. Why do people have a fear of public speaking? Because you will see, as per lots of analysis and lots of things, it has been found that after death, the second most fearful thing is public speaking, the fear of public speaking. So why do people fear talking in front of people? Because you will see, just take a simple example. As per science, hardly 1 to 2% of snakes are actually poisonous. Hardly 1 to 2%, just imagine. And just recall, whenever you are observing, whenever you are seeing a snake or watching in front of you, what first thought comes in your mind? You think, "Yaar, ye to kaat lega, ye to zahrila saap hoga, are ye to mere kuch ho jayega," right now? Why does that thought come? Because our mind has been programmed since childhood to look for negative things in life. Just like that, whenever a person goes in stage or he speaks in front of people, majority of people, why they have fear? Because they think about those 1 to 2% of people who are actually very negative, who will think, यार ये क्या बोल रहा है, इसको तो कुछ आता नहीं है बोलने, कैसे बोल सकता है, इसको तो कुछ proper बोलने भी नहीं आता है, correct? We accept this reality. 1 to 2% of people will always be negative. Don't try to change them. What you can do is to remove that fear. What you can do is you can shift your focus to that rest of 98 to 99% of people. Those people who actually want to listen to you, in front of, when you're speaking in front of audience, there are 99% of people who actually want to hear from you, who actually want to learn from you. So your mindset should focus on those 99% of people, right? We have to cure ourselves from this disease called as LKK, log kya kahenge, if you want to be a good public speaker, right? So, as this public speaking goes, you will observe that there's a very important phenomena that happens whenever you speak in front of people. You will see, even before you open your mouth, people start liking and disliking you. That's you can call it a skill set or anything that is called phenomenon of public speaking. Even before you speak, if you're just standing in front of stage, or you are looking at me, people will start judging. This happens because human beings are hardwired for snap judgment, right? We will just look at people and just do some snap judgments. That happens in public speaking also. So what we can do, we can stand in the center of the stage, stand in front and center of the stage, feel like king and queen. Don't be in a rush to speak. Whenever you are given a chance, don't be in a rush. Do you think if a king and queen is standing in front of their people, they will be in a rush to speak? No. They will take their pause. They will look around people, what is happening. Then they will speak, right? So you should have that power and authority in your talk. So you will see, in start of speaking, whenever you are starting your talk, it has two main important objectives. Write it down. First is, you have to drag the attention of your audience. the first half of your talk, if you're not dragging the attention, the later half and the rest of it the audience will, will be sleeping, or they will not be, or that will not be focused. So for the start of your talk should drag the attention of the audience. Second thing, after your talk ends, initially you have to take the objective of public speaking is that after your talk gets over, your audience mindset should be from point A to point B. Before your talk started, their mindset was here, and after your talk ended, their mindset should be here. That is the objective, right? And in order to do that, we have to engage people. If you will see in a lot of seminars and everything, you will see, people do lots of engagement. So there are two main kinds of engagement that you can do with the audience. First is called as physical engagement. You can write it down. Called as physical engagement. Physical engagement simply means, the speaker will ask you to raise your hand, do this, do that, clap your hand. This is called a physical engagement. But there is a much more powerful kind of engagement. Write it down. The second kind of engagement. It is called as cerebellum engagement. Cerebellum is a part of the brain, right? Cerebellum engagement means when your thoughts and stories are actually getting engaged with audience thoughts and stories. That is the cerebellum engagement. It's a very powerful form of engagement that most of the top speakers you will see are using this, right? And in a survey, it was found that body language and vocal variety plays a much more impact than only good content. You will see lots of people around you, they have a very solid content, but they are not able to, have that good body language or a good vocal variety. So, what are the good body language that we should develop? So you will see, because you will have to see, your body language should support your content. If you have a very powerful content and you are standing in the center of the stage, not moving, not doing anything, not hand movements or anything, the audience won't have any interest in you, right? So in body language, you have to understand, write it down, very powerful quote. Every part of your body speaks. Every part of your body speaks, not just your mouth, right? Because when you're in front of people, everything about you is speaking, right? So there are three most important things that speaks out of you. That is, first is hands. So what you can do with the hands? So what I am doing is I'm moving the hands naturally, right? If you are not feeling this natural, what you can do is you can use steeple method, STEEPLE, steeple method. You can Google it down and you can watch the YouTube video. You will get the what it means of steeple method, right? Second thing is legs. So what you can do with your legs, whenever you are talking to a people, when you are looking at audience, move toward that person. Again, come back. Again, you look at a different audience and move towards them. That way, you can cover the entire stage. That will, help the audience to better engage. Third thing is the eyes. So what you can do with eyes, because eyes speaks the most. So what you can do is simple rule. Change the sentence, change the person you're looking at. Change the sentence, change the person you're looking at, right? That you can do with your eyes. So now comes the vocal variety, right? So in public speaking, never have a monotonous tone. That is the most, boring thing that the audience will never like. And that is a skill set that everyone can develop if you are actually intentional about that, right? So in vocal variety, there are three things that you can write it down. First is called speed of speaking. That is also called words per minute. And in public speaking, 160 to 180 is the ideal for audience, so that they can also understand what you are saying. Second thing is volume. If you observe my talk and if you're observing others talk like Bharat and Supra and Kiran, they are very good speakers, right? They are running this huge organization. They are leading so many of people. If you observe their talk, they will always, talk. Their talk will sometimes be low, some high. There will so many of voice modulations is there, right? That's the mark of a good speaker. Third thing is tone. Because you will see words itself has no emotions. We have to put emotions behind those words. That is the importance of tone, right? Now comes the third thing is content. Because if you have a good body language, vocal variety, but if you don't have a good content, what you will do? So it's very important to have a good content as well. So to have a very good content is a very simple method that you all can apply. That is called as 3S method of storytelling. 3S storytelling method. Write it down. What does 3S means? The first S means setup. Setup means you have to take your audience to the past. Take them to what you were before all these things happened, right? That is the setup. Second thing, S means struggle. You have to tell your audience, what are the different struggles that you face. No struggle, no story, right? Third thing is success. Third S means success. Success doesn't mean in terms of money or wealth. Success also means what were your critical learnings from those struggle period, right? So this is the 3S: setup, struggle, success. So we all can incorporate this in our talks. So, so that's all for today. I am sure you all must have made good notes. And remember, we cannot learn swimming just by watching YouTube videos, right? We actually have to jump in the swimming pool and we actually have to learn. Just like that, you have to keep coming to this book reading club, this PIM workshop that Mr. Vijay is conducting every Saturday. It's one of the most powerful workshops that you will ever attend. These book reading clubs are so much value addition, right? So you have to keep coming in all these things. You have to add value to people. You will develop your skill sets, right? So, that's all for today, and remember a very important quote. Every great speaker was once a bad speaker, right? So don't fear public speaking, embrace it and conquer the world. Hope I have added a lot of value to you all. Thank you so much, Bharat and Kiran, for inviting me for today's talk. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Parikshit, for coming to the book club. We are very glad. And really, you have engaged my cerebellum, I would tell. That is really stuck in my brain, I would say that. And the way of talking about the tone and pitch, I was literally, I was listening to your talk. I was not really looking at you. I was writing at my notes so that I don't miss any point out of that. It was really wonderful that you are here. Bharat will add.
Thank you so much, Parikshit. We all know you are a pretty good speaker, and today, because of this platform, we could have had this platform, right? We helped other people also to know how good speaker you are. Thank you so much for adding.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
So guys, just to add one more thing, अगर आपको लगता है कि परीक्षित में just 10 plus experience, is very experienced and nothing, he is exactly like all of us. He's hardly 3 years of experience. हाँ, बात करने में शायद पता नहीं चल रहा हो क्योंकि he has really struggled. He has really put an effort towards it. So it is not difficult task. Even I've seen Parikshit growing from point A to point C and point Z actually, to be honest. And today, while he speak, many people are learning. Even today, I took notes, lot of notes, because I learn from him every single time whenever I hear. And it is a privilege that you all are learning from him. And don't lose hope, because if he is young, if he can do something so good, we all can do it, right? So let's implement few of the things so that his time, what he came for us, it should be worth it. So thank you so much, Parikshit bhai. I really appreciate your time to come and share your learnings and experience. It is really
Thank you so much. Looking forward to the next sessions. Thank you.
Absolutely, we'll call you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, obviously.
We'll be our guest speaker.
Yeah.
Thank you so much again. Yeah, Parikshit.
Okay, next we see Sasi's hand being raised. Sasi, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Your time starts now.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. So actually there is no power is available in my home. Lot of mosquitoes are in my laptop screen. So I'm just disturb them to just go away from my screen. So okay, I will continue with my normal voice. So I'm really appreciate the Parikshit. He delivered a lot of wonderful talk. I just lost a lot of points because I deeply involved in his talk. So if I just try to recollect some of the couple of the points which I just noted down. So starting from my points, did my voice is audible?
Yes.
Okay. So today's my topic name is the passive knowledge. So most of the people, they even Shahid just told me like a Rich Dad and Poor Dad book about like active income and passive income, something like that. So even I will start from that, their point, I will end with my topic here. So usually most of the people know active income in the sense which we got from the salary and like spending a lot of hours and getting some income. And passive income in the sense of writing some kind of blogs. We'll spend some time and returns will come continuously without our presence. This is like a passive income. We all know about this one. So when we're talking about the passive knowledge, how passive knowledge you will get? So the better thing was, so let's take one example. I just done my graduation in some other place. So when I just joined my graduation, my passion was the electronics is my passionate, and at the same time, computer is my passionate. So I just try and hunt for like who are the most passionate people in the computer science background. So I just went just met a lot of people and find a couple of the people are very passionate about. So every time I just went to them and just spend a lot of hours to them and make a very good relation with them. And at the same time, I seen a lot of like a good fellows from the electronics background. Again, I just went to them. I spend a lot of hours to them. So make a very good relation with them. That's it. So that is the time I had done, created my asset. So that is the asset which created the knowledgeable asset I created. And after that, so I did not study I did not follow any Google feeds. I did not go watch any YouTube videos. I did not done anything. Simply casually going with them and they're delivering all their knowledgeable to me. So every time, what is the trending in the market, they're delivering all the talks to me. So what is the smaller thing I had done? So I just created a positive-minded people and very talented people in my network. So that they're doing all the work. They're spending a lot of nights and watching a lot of videos and doing their everything. But I'm not doing anything. but still I'm getting all the knowledge from which they have. Recently I just had a spoke with the Kiran. So even Kiran is telling me that a lot of info about the passive income, how do we can able to generate the income, what is the passion. He gave me a lot of example. So why? Because I just made a very positive relation with the Kiran. That's the reason I just got a lot of info from him. So because if I got to learn that much of information, I took so many months, not even like a months also, maybe like a couple of months more than something like that. But still, I just learned it like a 1 hour, less than an hour of time. So why? Because I just maintained a very positive relation with the Kiran. So that's the reason I just got. Even the same applies to the Bharat and Supra as well. So even the Bharat has just pushed me a lot of time. Just take this topic, and I really missed your topic this day. Why do you not take the topic? You can take this topic. There's a lot of discussion has happened. So because now at this time after joining my book club session, I just gave a lot of like 6 business demos I just given to my clients. So even my organization, usually my lead will take care of all the business meeting. Now I'm taking the responsibility to delivering all kind of talk. Why? Because the reason behind the Bharat. So because Bharat pushed me a lot of time, I'm just delivering the talk. The same is working in my career also. Even I delivered a lot of business talk. I got a lot of appreciation from my manager as well. So a lot of things are given. So to summarize my topic, so if you want to gain a passive knowledge from the without doing anything, so just create a passive, like a positive-minded people in your network, so that you will get all the knowledge by your own. Yeah, that's the end of my topic. Hand over to the Bharat.
Thank you so much, Sasi. That's a smart way of getting knowledge from people around us. Actually, if you see, this is a powerful concept which I usually apply with Supra, with Kiran, and all. If you see, these are very people who read lots and lots of books. The amount of knowledge that they have, right? It's tremendous. Most of the time, what happens is we may not get that much of a time to gain that much knowledge from all the books and everything. But what you can do is just tag along with people who has tremendous knowledge, who has already gained a lot of knowledge from the books. So that way we can get good amount of passive knowledge. It's a good technique to follow. Yeah, thank you for sharing, so that everybody in our book club group can implement this idea.
Very well covered, Sashi. Even I like that particular point, and I was about to tell people who are getting time of Kiran, I would say you should really catch hold him, because even we don't get time to catch him. That's where it is. So yeah, you should connect with him and see the knowledge he carries and what you can actually grab from him. Yeah.
It's been an honor to be having a talk with the Kiran as well. Seriously, it's been an honor only.
Honor is mine, man.
Okay, we have Didi and Saibinit. I think Didi raised first.
Yeah, we have Rupa Didi.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Good evening to all. I am Rupa
Your
Das.
bandwidth is good. Can you turn on your video?
I think so. I am having some trouble with my laptop camera, so I found some difficulties. So
yeah,
if I will turn on the video, then audio will go on.
No problem. You can start with the audio. You carry on. Yeah.
Okay. So I am back with the topic auto suggestions. Due to my busy schedule, I have not prepared properly and read the book, but I have read something what I will discuss. Okay. This chapter is from the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Auto-suggestion, the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. So now I will discuss something. What is auto-suggestion? Auto-suggestion is the easiest way to reprogram our subconscious mind. In fact, each of us has used auto-suggestion at some points in our lives. The problem is most of us use auto-suggestion to focus on negative things rather than positive one. Right? Many of us do all these things. If you have told yourself to relax, breathe, focus, take it easy, you are using auto-suggestion. Auto-suggestion is the easiest way to reprogram our subconscious mind. In fact, each of us has used auto-suggestion at some times in our lives. The problem is most of us use auto-suggestion to focus on negative things rather than positive one. For example, we say I am tired, I am useless, and then wonder why we actually feel that. I will give some examples like Autosuggestion can be positive or negative. Earlier I told this one. It can either boost the ability to nourish personal and professional life to help destroy it. First, we will discuss about the positive autosuggestion. Positive example, I am giving some example of this. The one we want to be using on ourselves. Self-talk like, I am happy, I am fun to be around with everyone, I am healthy, I am an excellent educator. All this can be a positive thinking. I am feeling wonderful, I feel super, life is going great, this is another great day. All these are the examples of positive autosuggestion. And keeping in mind when whatever comes to our life, it is all not only always positive, it can be negative also. Sometimes we put some negative things also in our mind, like the negative autosuggestion can be, I can't do that, I will never be able to have a job like that, I am always in debt, I am always broke. Means all these things are the negative autosuggestions what we faces in our lives. Then come this kind of self-talk and personal commentary only goes to damage our sense of self in a slow and sneaky way, like water enters the wall of a home. So this much only I have prepared, this much only I got for about positive and negative. Thank you all.
I think Kiran should be giving a feedback to you. That should be wonderful.
It was very good, Didi. Actually, yeah, what you mentioned is, related to thoughts. So as you all know, our mind is like a thought factory. It all depends on what we put in our mind. So early in the morning, if you put a positive thought, that's how our day continues positively. So if you put by mistake, if you put a negative thought right the first thing in the morning, so our day is going to start, on a bad note. So it's pretty important that we start our day in a good note. Yeah, Kiran, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, so I'm anyway one of the great fan of Rupa Didi's talk, because the practicality.
Thank you, Kiran.
The example she takes while she speaks, you can't copy her. It is natural. It comes to her, and definitely the experience and her life struggles and all those stuff made her the person she is right now. So we are very fortunate. Rupa Didi is actually, people who don't know, she is the elder sister of Supra. So,
yeah, I wanted others to actually praise her because mine will be endless.
Yeah, and she always inspires her, and definitely we'll do a lot of live shows coming up in future. Thank you so much, Rupa Didi.
Thank you, Kiran. Thank you, Bharat and Supra.
Welcome, Didi.
So we have Sai as our next speaker.
Yeah, it's a surprising topic by Sai. So guys, pay close attention to what Sai is going to speak. It is pretty important for everyone in our life, for all of us. Yeah. Okay, Sai, over to you. I'll just put you on spotlight.
It's audible and my video is visible?
Yes. Yeah, you can go ahead, Sai. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
It's visible and audible?
Yeah, yes, your time starts, Sai. You can start.
Yeah, it is clear.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Hello, it's clear now?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for troubling it. Actually, what happened was, when I was about to start the book club, at 9 o'clock, I was in dinner with my friends in my office. When the book club was started, I was in rain. It's heavily raining in Bangalore. So I taken one car of one of my friends. I reached my room by 9:25, I guess. So by that time, Kiran was giving the talk. So I was thinking something in my mind. I was having good positive thought. After that, I heard many things I was writing down. So today I was very much eagerly waiting to share something special in book club. Why I was eagerly waiting was, I want to share something which is very important for every one of us to be known. So I read one book which was suggested by Supra, and thank you very much, Supra, for suggesting me that book. It really helped me a lot. So we was having a normal conversation one day. So she was telling that, have you read this book? So I was telling that no, I did not read that. So she was suggesting me that You can go through once, you will definitely like it. So I really loved it. So that the book name called Men's Are from Mars and Women's Are from Venus. So this book was really the way I read the book, and means the book name, the way I read, it was really making me some interesting thing. Why should I can't read it? So I went into it. It's really good. So what in this book was suggest was, I will tell only brief. I want to give a trailer only. I don't want to discuss very deep things. Why? Because if I discuss, it may reach in different point of views for everyone. So I don't want to hurt anyone's personal opinions, and I don't want to hurt anything. So the main motto of book was, when you are in that book, he clearly tells us that men's are from Mars. So men's are having different type of mentality, and women's are from Venus. So women's are also having different type of mentality. So the people, when they grow, when they're going to start a relationship, so they will be having different types of mentality and different type of understanding, different types of perception. In the same way, women's also have different ways and men's also have different ways. But when they come together, there are some things happens that we feel that it is happening normally, but there are something happening differently in the men's mindset and women's mindset. And sometimes what happens was, you will tell normally only, you will tell normally sorry, or if you ask help, if you give some help to a man, he will feel somewhat burden sometimes. Why? Because he can do it himself. So even that time also you are trying to help, so he will feel some burden. In the same way, for women also, uh, she wants some help. So, but she will never be asking. She feels that men already know that he wants to help. But men mentality is like that. Yeah, if someone asks, then only he will be helping. So this is one of the example I want to give. This is not a conclusion. So in this way, we will be having lot of debates with us. Like, we will be feeling why she is behaving in that way, and sometimes women will be feeling why men is behaving that way. So to end up all these things, you should always get some good knowledge why it is happening. So I am the person, I always research for why. So in the same way, I read about relationships before also book, but this book was really one of the most interesting book I read. So it gives a clear picture, like why men are behaving that way and why women are behaving that way. So I suggest that must read. And I'm not able to put many points because, as I told, this is a different perception and different point of views. So I don't want to add much points. And thanks Supra again for giving me such a wonderful book. And I started one more book also suggested by Supra. I'm reading that one also, and sure I'll share about that also next year. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, Shai. I would say that why Sai I gave this book is he has been covering so many books in parallel. So I thought he should take little diversion and start with some interesting book. So I would like to add very interesting about this book is that we all know that the brain of the guys are like the ice cube tray. So it's clockwise. So so when they're talking to their wife, they're only concentrated on there. So when they're talking to their manager, we women have a tendency to go and poke them or disturb them. But the thing is, they don't listen because their mind is in that one particular block. So it has to come out of that there, go to the different block and then listen. So that's the reason the focus won't be there. So that's how their brain works. And coming to ladies, I would say that they're like noodles. So they're like mixed. They can really interconnect anything with anything. So that's how the brain of men works and the women. So they are like two different creatures from two different planets. So it's a really interesting book, guys. Anyone, I mean, you should read this to understand each other for a better home team, or even if you have a girlfriend or you're looking for a spouse, anything, this book will really change your mindset. I would say that. But yeah.
And a fun fact, since most of the people are from Andhra here, the movie F2 is actually based on this book.
Correct.
Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. F2, it is Fun and Frustration. Yeah, the movie is based on this book actually. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I will be the next speaker for you guys today. I have a very interesting topic and questions to ask every one of you here today. So just think for a while. If you have failed, do you consider yourself a failure? That's the only question mark. And you are going to write this in your book now and think for a while. think of all the failures that has happened in your life, and how did you react on yourself, and what did you think about yourself. Could be any kind of failure, could be a backlog in an exam, could be getting a lower grade. Sometimes people consider them fail. If someone was getting first position in a class and went to the second, they consider themselves also a failure. So just write this question. This is an assignment. It is not like you just listen to the talk and just think that I'd never considered myself a failure or anything. Failure is something very, very, very interesting, guys, I would say. It is very easy to say someone that he or she is successful, but how a person is successful, it all starts with the failure. The moment you make failure your best friend, which I covered in my last topic if you attended. So when you make failure your best friend, you are becoming a success, you are becoming a winner. Today I'll be sharing you a very interesting and a wonderful story about a lady named Irma. She was a very wonderful writer, and how she started her journey. When she was at the age of 16, she loved writing, and she used to be part of one of this America's Good, some magazine related to some magazine or some news related thing. She started her career over there. She was not doing any great job there, but she started her career from there, writing small articles. And then slowly after working, she started going for her higher studies to get a grad degree, and she started going to the university. And then she come interact with the professor over there. Then this particular professor, when she had an interaction, he said that you can never be a good writer. She just did not accept that particular thing. She failed over there also. And then there was a time when she had to take this thought and ignore it, or remember it, and then move forward in life. Then she never stopped writing her articles. She kept on writing and she kept on speaking. Whatever her passion was, she followed it. Then moving on, after getting grad and moving into one of this small article organization again, she started writing again more article for them, but she was never highlighted, or her article was never in the front page, or it was never into that picture. But gradually she kept on trying, and then she got married on the coast. After getting married, she always wished that she will have because it's a general tendency of having, she always wanted to have a baby. But after something after they diagnosed with a doctor, she got to know, both husband and wife got to know that she cannot conceive anymore. So that was like one of the saddest thing in her life. But they both came to a conclusion and decided that they will adopt a child, and they adopted. To her luck, if you see, after an year, she was conceiving, and it was like a surprise. In 6 years course of time, she could conceive like 2 times, and there were failure attempts also, but she never took that as an failure part. Along with this, where her passion followed was writing into editorial. She kept on writing. She approached many of the news agencies, but which did not turn out that well. Her article was posted once in a week only into their page. That was, she was paid hardly $3 for that article, not beyond that. But moving on the course of life, she was diagnosed with cancer, and she had issues along with her kidney. Considering all these factors, she never failed. She went to the stage, colleges, schools, and she delivered speech about whatever the content she writes. By this particular age, she was almost 40s, and she had almost 15 books published. And then finally, there were the first company where she worked during her teenager. They called her and they started publishing all her article in the front page. And gradually, if you see, she took almost 20 years of struggle, and then she kept on moving, doing all these activities. And at the age of 66 or 67, she passed away. So what do you really see in this, her life? There were a lot of things happening in the backside. I was trying to show you what was happening in her personal front and the passion she was actually following. She started her career at the age of 16 to be a great writer. She wanted all her articles to be posted in everywhere and everything. Did that not happen true? It happened. It happened late. So if she failed, it doesn't mean she was a failure. She made that things happen. She proved that professor who once told that she can never be a writer or an author. Now 15 books are published. Do you think it's a joke, guys? Obviously not. So this is what failure talks about. Never think that if you have failed, the person is a failure. It's about if you have accepted failure as something and you stopped over there, then it could be a failure story. But if you have, failure could be just a comma. It's just a pause which you take to take the next step. You have to keep on trying with the things which you really want, which you really love actually. I am not a failure. I failed at doing something. That's a very beautiful line I liked from this book. And I would like to say this was the wonderful book which I keep reading when you are low in energy, I would say, because we are low in energy thinking that I cannot get success in something or something. So that particular moment of time, what happens is you have to read this book, which will actually change your thought. Why I say there are wonderful stories in this, and there is one more wonderful story which talks about a average player who always had a wish to become a football player, but he failed, and he also said in one of his, and now he's a motivational speaker, he says that I am not Michael Jordan, but I am one average person who made things happen. If an average person who could make things happen, think guys, we are also the same. It's just a matter of the mindset which we carry with us. So there is nothing like failure. Always accept failure and keep doing the things, and you will see wonders you are having within yourself. Thank you so much.
Wonderful as usual, Supra. Thank you so much for picking a very important topic. Okay, so I believe we have crossed our time. We have any other speakers?
I think we had Swati.
Swati, would you like to share next?
Hi Bharat, hi Supra.
Hey.
Hello everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm sorry, there's a power cut here and a few things happened. I couldn't join on time. So I'll be sharing about how the magic of thinking big book has helped me entirely. So there are so many topics from that book that are actually quite significant, starting from believe you can succeed and you will. So the first step that goes into doing something, or before we do something or accomplish something, is believing in ourselves. I'll talk about how it helped me. We all know that nothing can be achieved without believing in ourselves. It is easier said than done, trust me. I mean, it's the easiest thing to say that you need to believe in something, but for you to believe in something, it takes extra power and efforts. So believing in something to achieve it will actually land us success, and that belief has to be carried forward every day. Even during doubts, belief has to be a constant, and for that, continued efforts have to be put. The next chapter is cure of excuse-itis. I mean, how often do we give excuses? If we just make a note of the number of excuses that we give during the entire day, I think that number will surely cross 100. And I made a mental note of the number of times I gave excuses, and I also thought of the number of times that successful people could have given excuses to have not achieved something, but they did not give excuses. Think of Elon Musk or any great person who could have given excuse, but he did not, right? So that is what landed him there. Or and get to the action habit. I mean, excuses and action habit, these things go, I think, hand in hand for me. I would give excuse for something, and so that I did not have to do something in return. I did not have to take the action. But I remember this once when Bharat told me which topic are you going to choose, Swati. Then I told him, okay, I'll take the action habit. Then that week I was actually not well, but I had to give that topic in spite of that, because I had already told Bharat that I would be giving it, and not giving it would seem like I'm giving an excuse, and I did not want to make it seem ironic. So I just went ahead and did it. So every time I'm going to do something and I give myself an excuse, I make a mental note of it, and I'm like, okay, this is just something that my mind is coming up with, and it's not genuine. So just being mindful of the things that we are telling ourselves can actually make an impact and a difference in how we go on about the rest of our activities. So that's one thing. In the last week's book club, I talked about how to keep goals in order to help us grow, right? It's like begin with the end in mind. When we have an end picture in our mind, then we can break them down and reverse engineer into doing things that will work so that we can achieve those things. For example, you want to be an author. What do I have to do in order to be an author? Do I have to sit and worry and waste my time, or do I have to discourage myself, or should I start reading and should I start writing and should I talk to other authors who have published their books? So if we just change the way we think, I think this attitude can be inhibited in ourselves. The next chapter is how to think big. And what I learned from this chapter is how often I had limited myself to not achieve a few things. I was like, I'm not probably smart enough, or I don't have enough resources to get this done. And then I realized, okay, I'm actually limiting myself and I'm not thinking big. And in order to achieve big, we have to think big. No matter, it might seem at that time that we are being delusional, or we are just fooling ourselves. But you know what they say? I'd like to quote Steve Jobs here. Steve Jobs once said, the craziest people who think they can change the world, people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world, are the ones that they do, because they think big, and the others who are not capable of thinking those things feel that we can't change the things or things around us by thinking big. So I would like to end my talk by saying that the magic of thinking big, this book really does give you a thought on how to think big, and it sets motion into that path. And a book can really change your life if you just let it. So slowly, I'm not afraid to say that not all my problems are addressed yet, but this book has surely helped me, and I'm looking forward to my next book. So thank you, Bharat and Supra, and thank you everyone for listening. Thank you. Even though it's much past 10 o'clock. Thanks.
The best and wonderful part, what you covered, Swati, it tells that you have gone through this particular book and you're summarizing it to everyone. And I like that part. It was really nice.
And yeah, actually we could see that this book had a good impact on your life personally, because there were different phases in our life where you were going through, and this book had actually made an impact on you, and that way you actually covered whatever happened in your life and how this book impacted you personally. Thank you so much, Swati, for always adding value to our book club.
And today we have the stage open if anyone wants to speak anything. Yeah, and I think Sai just texted to speak something. Yeah, Sai, you can go ahead.
Hello, it's clear, right? My audio is clear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, actually, like I was in a rush, actually, so I was not able to cover much point about the book. The two things I want to tell, that if you are loving someone, or if you are having if you want anything to deal with means opposite gender, you need to share them, means like genuinely you need to share them through a love letter or through normal way. You need to express them, then only they will be understanding. Without sharing how much you love also, how much you feel good also, that will never gonna happen. So always share your love. That is one suggestion from my side. I shared many times, I got rejections, but I got some success stories which I'll be sharing in future. But the best part is the sharing love is very important in our life. Why? Because we are in a rush in our life. As I am rushed today to a blue club, so I was making some sacrifices in that, but I never sacrificed love for anything. So love is one powerful feeling that it will make you to move very faster. So express your loves. This is one thing I want to add. Why? Because after reading this book, I understood that many people fail expressing their love. Why? Because there are misunderstandings or judgments. It may be something to share it. So I request or I suggest, you can take it an order or anything, but I'm telling that you should always express your love, and try to express in a love letter. It is one of the best thing. I expressed it, but I got good rejections. I got good stories also. So start expressing in love letter again. We are in mobile generation only. Still, you can write letter in a mobile also. write it and tell them. That's all.
That's wonderful, Sai. I thought I should take the traditional approach which you just suggested now and start again from the scratch. Kiran, would you like to add something overall and for everyone? Yeah.
I think Kamal wanted to speak something. Kamal
Okay.
raised his hand.
Yeah, Kamal. Yeah. I'll just unmute him.
Kamal, you can unmute yourself and you can go ahead.
Hi, Bharat. Thank you.
Yeah, hi, Kamal.
Yeah, I missed my introduction in first, so I thought that Kiran already started, so I didn't try to disturb him. Yeah. Hi, all. This is Kamal. I'm living in the part of India. I'm belong in the Delhi NCR. And by profession, I'm a network engineer. I have 6 years of experience. And that's it. And one more thing which I wanted to add here: when I talked with the Bharat first time in last week, he introduced me that regarding the book club after filling my form. It's amazing for me that I didn't think that this happen here. We have a lot of knowledgeable people here. We are not only sharing for the particular book which Bharat gave me. So it's too much knowledge here. I'm too glad to be the part of this book club. Thank you so much.
Welcome to the book club, Kamal.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great. So I think one good thing I wanted to add is that if you are looking at how to retain your knowledge, because most of you are attending the weekend sessions and most of you are already attending book club, and so much of learnings are being shared. Let me tell you this secret which I've been applying it, and this works like magic. If you apply this, you won't forget what you've learned today, because I'm sure most of you after this book club, 90% of the content which just shared, Supra shared amazing story, and Rupa Didi shared her life story, Swati shared, Sai shared, so many people shared wonderful set of information. Parikshit shared about public speaking. We all have wonderful information. Now the only challenge is that how much of the knowledge you will retain it. So one good aspect, one good technique which I use, which works like magic, is whatever have you learned, at least 2 to 3 points which you loved it, whatever you felt from your heart, share it with 3 more people. And you can either share, you go live in your Facebook, you go live in your Instagram, whatever you want to do, you can go live and share like that, or you go live in Facebook, or you call someone, your parents, your brother, your sister, whom you generally communicate regularly, and speak all these things. Because if you see, generally hum log to baat karte hain, we generally speak about climate, we speak about movies, we speak about new releases, new songs, and we anyway speak subconsciously. If we be intentional about speaking about growth, trust me, we will attract growth atmosphere in our life, and we will also remember this knowledge, and we will be more aware of it. Once we are aware of it, then only we can apply. Correct? So this is one magic which you all can apply, because it is working for me, for Bharat, Supra, all like magic. Because after we started doing live sessions and book club and all, we are more aware of the knowledge, and that is where we are growing much inside. Inside out we are growing. So again, whoever get chance, please get in touch with Bharat, Supra, and me, and develop that relationship, so that only when you develop relationship, the next level of growth will happen, if you expect some learning out of us. Because if relationship is not developed, it is not only from your side, it is completely from your side and my side and their side, both side. So that is when the real learning comes, after building a basic relationship, which Sashi was also covering that. So thank you so much, guys, for sharing your heart out, Bharat and Supra. I'm so happy, and that's it. And see you in the weekend. And yeah, weekend is one of the best topic which Vijay will be covering is change. Is it forced or is it intentional? It is up to you to decide. And if you want to know the answer from Vijay's mouth and Vijay's experience, and with his own experiences, get in touch with us and let's all grow together.
Okay, I think Shahid has made a raise of hand. You want to say something, Shahid? You can unmute and speak. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I have a simple question. Like when I was explaining you, which is related to that book, I felt like I am not explaining in a correct manner. Like I didn't get any satisfaction by this session, because I have not explained how I would like to explain it. I feel like I am not good at reading books. So can you suggest me anything how to read a book or how to understand the summary and how to express it? Yeah. So that's my question.
That was a very wonderful way of submitting yourself, Shahid. You are already a very good speaker, but I would like Kiran to add to whatever question you have, because the way he will narrate, it will be very wonderful for everyone. Also, it will be useful. Yeah.
Is my voice audible? So
Yes.
Sai, one good thing you could do is, first step, if I understand your questions correctly, Kiran, I didn't get satisfaction while I spoke today, and I thought I could have delivered much better, but I could not. And maybe it is coming through the book content. That is the reason.
Yeah.
Maybe it sounded more theoretical to me, so that I could not bring my heart out, and that is where the gap is. Am I right? Is my understanding correct? Okay. So
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
So one good suggestion is very simple. Even I used to feel the same thing, because when I was at your age, we hardly have much experience in life. We hardly had some exposure in our life. So the feeling is normal, first of all. So you don't have to feel something amazing, something bad has happened. It's completely normal. Other thing is that the
Yeah.
more you connect, the more you submit to Bharat, Supra, and learn from people's experiences. Or you can also ask your relative, your parents, your mom, your dad. You have so many people around, right, who are experienced than you. If you talk to them and bring that topic to them, you will get real life experiences. It's just like you speaking and you borrowing someone's experiences and feeling that experience, just like you're watching a movie, right? The movie which touched your heart. The moment the movie touches your heart, you don't need any speaking skills. You just need your heart to speak, right? And that only connects with a real
Yeah.
story. So you just have to find stories. If you're not experienced enough, just do whatever most of us are doing. See, Vijay is very experienced. He had so much of life exposure. That is the reason when Vijay speaks, it comes very, very wise. The wisdom speaks out of his mouth. But most of us are young here, so we don't have that much of life exposure. So what is the best smart thing to do? First thing is to develop relationship with your coach and a mentor, so that if you develop relationship, they can share their heart out to you without thinking that Shai will feel bad or something like that. The second thing is, the more you come into book club, you're already learning from Sai, you're already learning from Sashi, so many Rupa Didi, so many people are sharing that from life experience already, right? Then note it down. So you'll get real life stories. And then you connect with a lot of other people whom you're talking to. And while you share, collect their stories and add your content into it. Only
Okay.
then you'll be able to.
Yeah. Actually, my question was a little bit different from this. Whenever I talk normally, I speak well. Like I can manage and I can speak. I feel better also. When it's particularly related to reading book and then explaining about the same content of the book, so I feel little bit difficult to express it. Whether there is another way of reading the book, so that's why I'm asking.
I would like to add, Kiran, and then you can correct also. What generally I do, Shahid, is I just read a book because I'm very bad in memorizing. I would tell a very honest thing to all. I'm very bad in remembering things. So what I do is I just read the book and underline it. And as we are having a time-based talk here, or anywhere you go as a speaker, you will always be given with a limited time. It could be 5 minutes, or if you're taking the entire forum for you, also it will be time-based. So you could read the content or whatever it is, understand the gist completely of it, and before your talk, when you're spending time with yourself, because you know that what you have read, and before you present it to your audience, what you can do, basically you roam in a room or however you do, just go and deliver that talk, not the book content, the summary of the content. Just speak in front of the mirror. Maybe that could be the best audience for you. Just stand and speak whatever came. Don't worry about the real content you forgot or you missed. Leave it. Whatever you got, it could be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it could be anything. Just talk it and just see whatever you have missed and go back and just read the quotations. And always make sure you add a quotation in the beginning, bind it with a story, and then end with a quotation. And this binds the complete way of your talk. I'm still learning, but this I've started implementing gradually.
Yeah, it's
on
really
my
helpful for me.
yeah.
Thank you
Kiran
for
can
your
again add.
advice. It's
Yeah.
really helpful. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think Shai must
adding
have got
to
the answer.
what sorry, adding to what Supra said is like, yeah, Kiran has also mentioned about adding your life experiences, right? So here anyway, if we don't have any personal life experiences, like Kiran suggested, so have a talk with people around us, see how they would fit themselves in that particular situation, and how they experienced a particular situation where what we have read in that book, and maybe you can share the same experience with us, since we personally don't have an experience of what is written in that particular book. That we can do it. Yeah.
Okay,
Kiran,
I will definitely do it.
Cool. Good, Shahid. So just to summarize what all of us said. So first thing, we talked about stories. If you don't have your own story, borrow stories. That is fine. Just borrow the real stories. And other thing is what Supra told. While you read, don't think that you will forget everything. You only remember whatever it touched your heart. So if you read the complete chapter, all the content you may not connect. To be honest, only few things you will connect, and all chapter will have some key important points. And after you read it, around that point you build your stories, you build your talk. It is just like skeleton. हड्डी है ना, हड्डी अपने body का, वो हड्डी बस आपको पकड़ना है. When you are speaking, हड्डी के around अपना मांस डालो, story डाल दो बस, और कुछ नहीं है. That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
And keep connecting.
Thank you so much to everyone, like those who have given the advices or the solution for my problem. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Shahid.
Thank you so much, everyone, guys, for joining. Looking forward for all the speakers to be ready by Sunday, as I always say, so that I know that who is talking on what topic and we don't have an overlap of the topic again. So you can be proactive in sending the topic to Bharat or me, anyone. It will be completely fine, so that we can always have more number of speakers we can cover within our time frame.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and let's meet again on the next week.
Yes.
Bharat, I think Samir raised his hand.
Yeah. I did not see that.
Samir.
Yeah, Samir, go ahead.
So if it is late, I should tell these things next week, no problem. But is it fine to cover it now, or I think it's all?
Sure, you can.
It's
Yeah.
okay, Samir. You can go ahead. Yeah.
So I just wanted to add one point here. I won't take that much time, so let me quickly wrap up the things. So like one of the experiences that I always used to believe from my childhood, and one of the school teachers used to tell us from the childhood. So always we need to admire sun. So what it means is, so if you see sun, it falls on the lake, the light falls on a lake, it falls on ocean, it falls on river, it falls on drain water also. But what is the conclusion that we need to we need to draw from this is, so it always try to take the good water. Like the evaporation always happens with the good water, and the amount of water that we get during the rain, it always be good. So what I would like to tell is, so in our life, we always needs to be surrounded with good people. So the more amount of good things that our memory or our mind takes, the more good we will be. So there might be some bad people, or there might be some other people there will be always try to demotivate us or try to pull our legs. So we should not be worried about them. So we always need to find the good quality out of them. So even though one of my friend is trying to pull me down, so even though I have to see him and give him a smile, and I need to find out, I need to search him actually, I need to scan him. Okay, what are the qualities that you have? Oh my God, these are the quality. I need to take that, and I don't want to take your pulling leg wala quality. So I need to separate in those way that I have to always take the good things from people, and I have to make sure that everywhere around my surrounding, I need to be good people or wise people around me. Then only my mind or my work or my day-to-day life will go better and better. Then I will be a better person as a person. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And I'm super excited to be a part of this, and I'm really honored to be a part of this. And I'm especially thanks to Sasi for called me up, and also Bharat today, so he pinged me. I'm really thankful to both of you, and looking forward with Kiran as he my like bachpan wala yaar. So I felt like I'll be looking forward to connect with him also. Yeah, thank you everyone.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Amazing things Samir shared with example of sunlight. I've already noted down. I'll use this content in some live shows. Keep watching.
Yeah, one more thing, Kiran, you need to show us all your OneNote content actually. Maybe not today. If you have time, you can show it today. Maybe otherwise somewhere in our book club session. I really like the way Kiran documents each and everything. That's how I learned it, and I have started it. Supra started it long time back, but I have started it recently. And he documents each and every small thing. If you see, I think it is a text document which is a 1 GB. You know, I believe with that much of big content he has.
If people are not getting it, I can show right away. I'm any
Sure,
excited.
Kiran. I think we have a good hold today. Yeah.
See,
I want
just
to.
now.
Okay. So here Kiran has shared with all.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
See,
happy
Samir's,
that I'm
Samir's learning.
Kiran, I'm happy that I am copying my guru.
You all are like my guru. I keep copying you from all of you.
No,
Whatever I've
by
learned.
seeing this, I remember mine. It's the same, it is, but yeah, almost. Not up to your level, but I'm somewhat like that.
So
That's
I've
wonderful.
I
already
need to
added.
improve a lot.
This
Sorry?
is my next topic. Book promotion, documentation. I'll show you in the weekend what Vijay will do. So
Workshop.
this is
Which
pretty.
app?
This is
It's OneNote. It's OneNote.
Premium.
Last Vijay's topic. I've added a lot of things. Chakras, I
The
loved this
chakras
concept.
was even I loved it. It was too good.
Superb it was. So completely fine, and there are a lot of other knowledge as well. So there are so many of things. There is something called relationship. So I didn't add my learnings yet. We had some and consultation.
Wow,
Start.
amazing, sir. Really amazing.
You see the book, the story which I just shared you, right? Garment story. See, here it is. I added here. I
Yeah,
read
it's like a
this.
treasure actually. No?
Yeah.
Tomorrow Kiran will publish the book of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. All see whatever. See, actually, I started late a little bit, but whatever I've done, I made sure ki I put it into one place. See here, whichever. Let's say if I don't have, if I don't have digital copy, then I take a photo and then put it. See what to say when you talk to yourself. You guys are speaking, right? That also I've done it, which is my favorite learnings. Magic of thinking big. See, 21 laws of teamwork. So many other things. I'm also into technology, so I also keep a track on that as well. Everything I documented. If you see my interview feedbacks, I failed a lot of interviews before last interview. So see a lot of feedback. I've just write it down. Theory, database, and I take interview also. So sometimes that is as well. So everything. So whatever you can imagine, you can document everything, and that way, what happens is that your knowledge is in one place, and OneNote is a very good tool to keep things in a very accessible way. And apart from this, I also write journal. I started, I think, 1.5 year. So there's something called Penzu Digital Journal. I don't have a habit of writing. I initially I created a habit, but it was very difficult for me to maintain writing habit. So rather than writing, if I write something, I will take a photocopy and put it in my OneNote, so that even if I lose my notebook and everything, right? So currently, if you see the world is going towards digital, I'm sure notebook भी चले जाएगा थोड़े दिन के बाद, notebook भी नहीं रहेगा. But जब तक आपके पास knowledge है, just keep it in one place. So this is what I want to add. Anyway, maybe in future I'll share in more detail.
Thank you so much, Kiran.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kiran. I wanted everybody, to see how he documents it so that, it is a good habit to, have. I've started it very recently, and trust me, guys, it is very, useful. Yeah, to keep all our, knowledge, everything in one place. Yeah, thank you.
Cool. Thank you, guys. See you next week.
See you all next week.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.